Hi, my name is Keisha Taylor, and I work for an organization called NAF. My role at NAF is the Senior Director of Post-Secondary and Partnership Engagement. And what that means is that I help the organization create partnerships that help our students get prepared for college and career pathways. I also help with our curriculum partners who help us to deliver the most relevant, most current information to our students and our teachers so that they're prepared for their experiences with their paid internships and their decisions whether or not they're going right into the workforce or onto a 2-year, 4-year, or trade school. I really enjoy working with people. So one of the things that I would say is that relationships are really important to me, and that's a really important part of my job in terms of following up, meeting with many different people. My typical day is different every day, every week, because I travel a bit to places. I visit academies, I visit different companies to find out what they're doing in industry so that I can bring it back to our organization and then make sure that it's relevant and important for our students to learn. And so I will give you a day at home and then a day out in the field. So a day at home for me when I'm working from my home office. I usually wake up at 6 a.m. I get my high school students out the door for school. I usually start with a meditation. I find that that really helps me get centered for the day. What I do then is I check my email while I'm drinking some coffee. I do the email pull. I look at everything that I need to do for the day. And then I usually take time to work out between 45 minutes and an hour. And I do that really all before 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., I usually check my calendar and see which kinds of meetings I have set for that day. It takes a lot to organize your calendar. So one of the things that I do at the end of the day is I make sure my calendar is ready for the next day so that I know what I'm doing. I usually have several phone calls, and so I like to take those calls on the computer. We use many different systems to communicate at my organization, NAF. We internally use Microsoft Teams, which is a video conferencing chat system through Microsoft. Sometimes we use GoToMeeting, and so that one we launch, and we can have multiple people and many different partners outside of our organization who collaborate with us on that platform, and that's a really cool way to communicate with others. I do all of those meetings each day, again, many different meetings that we have, and then I usually take a break. I take a quick power walk or power jog within my home or right outside of my home just to get the energy flowing. What I find is that if I'm sitting for more than 90 minutes or so, I need to get up and get moving. So that's a really important part of what I do. And then I usually have a check-in call or two with people on my team. And I'm on a team that works across the organization. So that's a really great way to work with others in the organization. A lot of the work that I do impacts many different parts of the country. So I have to talk to many different people. And we want to make sure that our strategy is always cutting edge and the best that it can be for our strategic and business goals. Organization-wide, we have 74 employees, and I would say that the work that I do really manages to meet with all of the different team members. We're set up in divisions in our organization. So there's a program team, there's a finance team, there's a research team. And as I work on the post-secondary strategy, for example, there are data points that we have to find. So I work with the research team. We have a finance team. There may be grants that I have goals that are aligned to that I have to meet with them. And then the program team is a team where they are the ones who work with academies and academy directors. And so I have to meet with them because if I have a program that I need to bring to the network, the NAF network, I have to meet with the portfolio managers to roll out a strategy. Another really important team that I work with at NAF is our marketing and communications team. And they are the team that get all the information out to our NAF network, to our business partners, to our educators. And so a lot of the work that I do has to go through their department to get out to the network, to our students, to our alum. And so I do oftentimes meet with my direct contact on the marketing and communications team. And then another team that I do a lot of work with is our strategy team. And so that is a very small team at the moment at NAF as we redesign our business plan. But a lot of the work that I'm going to be doing to build out a post-secondary strategy at NAF is that working with that team. One of the things that I would say that helped me get to this job is I was a classroom teacher, so I understand that the importance and the value of quality professional development, quality resources for that classroom teacher. And then another part of my training is that I was really very interested in how the higher education system worked. And so my graduate experience getting my master's degree was really in that higher education space. And then pursuing my doctorate in innovation and leadership has helped me add tools to my toolkit to be able to work with all kinds of people across an organization, across the country, and I think it's been a value add. I don't work alone, and I may be the only person who has a post-secondary responsibility, but I could never do my work by myself. And so working with others is a very important skill that we all need to make sure that we have, because most of the work that we do is never alone. And so that's going to be really important for any job that you think about doing, is how do I work with others? How do I communicate effectively? How do I value others' opinions? How do I respect others' opinions? And how do I appreciate a diverse opinion? Because one of the most powerful pieces to any team and to any organization that you join is that everyone doesn't think the same way. You want to make sure that you're around and surrounded by diverse thinkers. You're surrounded by people who are different from you. There's so much power and value in making sure that the team that you serve and the team that you're on and participating, that everyone is not thinking the same way. There's a way to make a better product, and whatever that product is. And so for me, thinking about the quality of the NAF network that I serve, our team at NAF services all different kinds of needs in the network, and it's so important that we are all very different in our strategy and approach to what it is that we're doing. So that's a really, really important thing. I think, when I think back to myself in high school, I thought education meant being a classroom teacher, being a principal, and then, going into the field of education, there's so many different roles and jobs that you can have. Working with curriculum, making sure that everything that touches a student's experience in school is so important. Thinking about guidance counselors and social workers, the people who provide services through their work in the offices. There's so many different jobs, and I didn't know that really when I was in high school until I really started thinking about the entire world of education. I would say looking at many different career paths is an important part to any experience. And adding as many tools and strategies to your toolkit is really important. I talk to a lot of different people who don't work in education and find out how they get their own professional development, how they continue to build their resume. And so that's something that you also want to do, is making sure that you build your resume to reflect all of your experiences. And so I think that that's another key skill. I really do love the work that I do because I have so many people that I'm involved in making the quality of their educational journey so much better. And I've heard that, and so that feedback also drives me to want to do more and be more to the network that I serve and to the organization that I serve. And one of the things that I think you never stop doing is you never stop wanting to learn and grow and develop and deepen what you believe is your craft.